What up, what up, what up? We're back with another edition of the ATL 3 Style Live podcast, man. I am Lee OG, one of your co-hosts here, man, representing hard, man, as we drop another podcast, talk about Atlanta sports and a whole bunch of other stuff, man. Before we get too far off in it, I got my man over there on the south side holding me down, man. Banks, what's going on with your brother, man?
What's going on, Leo G? How you feeling, brother, on this Friday, on this 404 day? Happy 404 day.
404 day, man. That's right. It's going down, man. As we'll drop the show, of course, obviously on Saturday morning. But right now, as we record, it is 404 day, man. Big shout out to that, man. Happy 404 day, man. It's a celebration of the A. That's how we doing it. Banks, man. This is, for us, lifers that's been here in the A, man. We've been doing this for a while, but this is a new celebration that we're trying to get, used to and accustomed to, man. Like, let everybody know what this 404 thing is about, man, and how you feel and what you do to celebrate 404 day.
I just reminisce, man, Leo, man. Listen, like you said, the lifer of the city, man. I'm a purebred Grady baby. Um, I remember this city pre-Olympics, pre-Freaknik, and where we came from in this city. Like if you went anything outside the perimeter, you feel like you were out of town. I I'm that native. I've been, growing up on the west side of the city. Started my education at Sandcastle Nursery. Shout out Sandcastle that's no longer standing. Then went on to Beecher Hills, and then I went on to Peyton Forest because I had moved to another neighborhood. But that's the whole feel that I have. Just being in the city all my life, all the friends that I accumulated, people that I've known all my life, and then the people that comes in from the back end. I always call them the people that after the Olympics, after Freaknik that came in, and it's like that like to claim Atlanta. That's all cute and all, but you're not a lifer, you know what I'm saying? And the 404 day for me is just the pure, it brings out the pure magic of the city, man. Like who is real? And I know no disrespect to the people who moved here, but the people that were born here, that grew here, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother field, bro. And I gravitate more to us like that.
Understood, man. Sorry about that. Understood. Listen, man. So yeah, I'm Atlanta. Like, there's always a debate between everybody here in the city, between like, what I'm saying? Like it's this constant battle with folk that have been here for a long time. You feel me, Banks, between ITP and OTP. But listen, let me tell you something, man. My Atlanta blood runs thick and true. You know what I'm saying? All the way on that west side over there, man. My folk, you know what I'm saying? Bankhead, Jones Road, man, over there, man. Shout out to my people over there because that's where, you know what I'm saying, my fam grew up. Listen, you know, by the time I came along, and I'm an old head, you know what I'm saying, my family had kind of pushed out a little bit, just a little bit south of the perimeter, man. So I grew up in, you know what I'm saying, what we call College Park, you know what I'm saying, right over there off that old ATL, of course, and, Flat Shows. That's where I grew up over there. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, South Fulton, where I started out at, you know what I'm saying, HLCL or SL Lewis over there. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in Shady P, which, everybody when I grew up called it Point Ridge, but now the young bucks call it, you know what I'm saying, Shady P. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I did, man. I did my tenure over there at Banneker High School. So yeah, man, I grew up in the metro Atlanta area, man. And like I said, my folk was Atlanta proper pure. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm third generation Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, like I said, to the West Side, Bankhead, you know what I'm saying, Northwest, Cairo, Perry Home, Hollywood Road, Hollywood Court, Bankhead Court. That's where my people was at, man. Techwood, man, Herndon Homes, um, Adamsville, Ben Hill, man, Peyton Hill, all that, man. It's me. ATL is me. I represent ATL, man, for all day, every day. I don't even really entertain arguments with people that say I didn't grow up in ATL proper no more, Banks, because like I said, you and I both know, man, I know this city like none other, dog. I've been doing this thing here for many, many years. So it's not a lot of people that's going to challenge me on my ATL-ness, if that's even the thing. You feel me?
It is a thing, Leo. And for people that always challenge us on that, that always got a problem with the city, I always tell them, I said, listen, there's a flight leaving Atlanta every 3 minutes. Hop on one. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I don't have no tolerance for that. You came here. You know what I'm saying? We didn't call you here. And that's why the traffic's all jacked up. If you have a problem with our city, go ahead and leave, bro. You don't. No one's stopping you. No one's got a gun to your head telling you to stay because there's a reason why you're here. And how can I all forget about my alumni of the Benjamin Elijah Mays High School? Shout out to them Raiders. Listen, I totally forgot. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get a point out. But yes, that was on the west side. I was where I grew up at. And Leo, like I said, we both, me and you, we started our careers at our workplace and we were so young and we were, you know, a young man in a grown man's world, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden we got, real close and then we start, realizing, we had a lot of stuff in common. Number one
Absolutely.
thing is that we didn't like them guys down in that boot smelly ass city down there that smell
No,
like pee. But I knew then I said, yeah, we got a lots in common. And the crazy part about it is now we look back on it, Leo. Now we are the ones, we are the older heads, and we are the ones that could tell the younger generation like, this is where Atlanta is and where we came from. You know,
absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, man, I'm an Atlanta vet through and through. Like I said, I've been in this city. Look, when I started driving banks, and I tell people this all the time, and we of course we're gonna talk about sports here, people. We're gonna talk a little bit about old Atlanta, man. Listen, Banks, we're old heads. We remember there was a time where, man, you could get from the airport to Lenox Mall in probably about 25 minutes, any time of the day, any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? That's how long we've been here. You know what I'm saying? That's how long we've been rolling through this city, man. That's how long we've been moving. We've been here, you know what I'm saying, before there was a Georgia 400. And then when they put Georgia 400 up, we remember the toll. You know what I'm saying? We remember when you had to drop martyr, there were martyr coins. It wasn't no card, there were coins. When you went to get on the martyr, there were coins, and that's how you rode the martyr all around this city. You know what I'm saying? You had to get your little, you know what I'm saying, your little the little pamphlet to see what buses were gonna take you well. Cause back in the day, Banks, you know what I'm saying? That's how we used to politic, man. Get on the martyr, say, hey man, I'm gonna catch that 84, I'm gonna catch the 87. I'm trying to do what I need to do. I need to get over the Cascade, I need to get over the, you know what I'm saying, Fairburn Road, I need to get over the, you know what I'm saying, county line, wherever I was trying to go throughout the city. You know what I'm saying? For real, man. And see the old head, they don't know. They see this, they moved here 4 5 years ago, but they don't know how it was, man, back in the day, man. I'm
listen,
I'm Pink Pig Christmas
thank you, thank
downtown
you, thank you,
riches
thank you.
ATL. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. And a lot of cats,
The Macy's Great Tree on Forsyth, dude. That's where I'm from. Not Lenox Mall when it was down there at Forsyth downtown when it was called Riches, not Macy's, Riches.
man,
And let me
we
tell
go
you
back to
something.
when it was Davidson.
Davidson's. Look at here. Let me tell you something. When this team right here played in the Omni, you know what I'm saying? When the Falcons played in Atlanta Fulton County
Fulton County
Stadium,
Stadium.
let me tell you something, dude. That was Atlanta back then, and that's when I cut my tooth in sports, and I will never forget it. I will hold to it dearly to my heart, knowing that with these people, these younger generation, knowing about our teams now, don't know where we came from, man. It's like, dude. I remember the Atlanta Knights, dude. Like this, that's
Come on,
that's
man.
that's what I'm talking about. This is before
Man,
the
I'm AT.
Thrashers, you okay?
Listen, dude. Listen, I'm ATL. Put my first ever Atlanta Falcons starter jacket on layaway at Kessler's. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? You know what I mean? I had my first starter jacket, man. Put it on layaway down there at Kessler's. Not Walt. Listen, Walters had shout out to Walters because you know what I'm saying. You from the A, Walters still represent, man. Shout out Walters. We used to go to Walters all the time, man. But my first starter jacket I bought at Kessler's for real. Then you know what I'm saying. I moved over to Walters, man, and started buying my starter jackets. Real talk, man. So if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying. I mean, that's how Atlanta we are, man. You know what I'm saying? All the spots, man. Just we've been here through it, Banks. We have, man, and we represent this thing with pride, man, and we do it so much. We just, we going down this rabbit hole of 404 memories, man, for 404 day, man. But that's what we do it for, man. Just the nostalgia and us being here for as long as we have been, right?
And you said Kessler's, man. That was the old back to school shopping downtown, going to Walters and getting your shoes. It was nothing like August going into that first day of school when we actually started school in September after Labor Day. Let's get that straight. I don't know why these kids going back to end of July. I don't know what that's all about. But
July, yeah, right up. We got a
yeah,
July
it's
4th.
crazy. That's crazy. But listen, we went school shopping down there, like you said, Kessler's down there, Walters, down there, Rich's downtown, and got your outfits, your shoes, your school supplies. I mean, it's man, just memories, man. Memories
Listen,
that you
listen,
can never get back, man. But
Banks,
it's just
Banks, Banks. Here we go. Listen. I'm High Tower. Y'all know it as Hamilton E. Holmes ATL. I'm
Tower
Ashby Street.
Station, bro.
I'm Ashby Street. Y'all know it as Joseph E.
Bruh.
Lowry. I'm
It's gonna
Bankhead. Y'all know it.
always be Bankhead, bro. Always gonna be
Y'all know it as
Bankhead.
Dunley Hollowell. You feel me?
Always
Listen,
Bankhead.
listen. I'm Bankhead.
Ashby.
Listen, I'm Bankhead
Simpson
West
Road. Simpson
Side.
Road, baby. Simpson
Big,
Road, bro.
listen, hold up, Simpson Road, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Joseph E. Boone, Simpson Road. You know what I'm saying? Lincoln Cemetery. Shout out to all my people over there, Lincoln Cemetery. Listen, I'm so ATL West Side Banks. Check this out, man. I'm Thanksgiving shopping West Side Bankhead Big Star over there, Grove Park. Man, you better stop me, man. I'm old school ATL Maddox Park Bankhead. You know what I'm saying? MLK Mosley Park. Man, let me stop. Banks. Let me stop, man. They don't know it, Banks. They don't know it, man.
Man, let me tell you something. This is that's what 404 Day is all about, man. It's all about, what I'm saying, just keeping the city or the aura of the city alive, man. It never died. But it's just, when people, we do all this building up these condos and changing these names on these streets and people don't even know the zones anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's always lived in zone 4. You know what I'm saying? Zone 4 ATL. That's what I always been. I was born and raised there. People don't even know what zones are anymore. And it's like, dang, the city, I don't know if it's changed because the people that moved here kind of changed it in a sense, but it's like the people that lived here and grew up here, we still got something to hold on to. And we talk about, like we talking right now, Leo. It's like, damn, you remember this? You remember that? Like, dude, you'll never forget it. You'll never forget it. And that's why I
No,
love my city so much. And this is, I got the background, the skyline in my background right here. And I remember as a child, going into the Western Peachtree Plaza, what I'm
that
saying?
was the
Going to,
tallest building in the
yes,
city at that time.
going
That's
up
the
to the
tallest building
top,
in the city.
to the sundial, to the sundial. If you went to the sundial, you made it, bro. It's like, damn, you went to the sundial? Like, yeah, I went to the sundial. Let me tell you something, man. It's like if you were a native in this city, you had to go up there at least once. If you didn't even eat, just go up there just to look around at the observation deck and just look at the city from a high point. It's a beautiful scene, man. Beautiful.
Man, listen. We've been here doing this for a long time. We can go on and on and on. That's a whole different part. That's a whole nother podcast, Banks. We're here to talk about some ATL sports like we usually do. Before we get into that, man, let's get into some business like we always do, man. Let's shout out the people, man, that we have been partnering with for quite a while, man. So let's shout out to our boy over there at Easton's Woodworking Company, man. Our boy Phil, man. Let everybody know what's up with Phil, man.
Let me tell you something about my boy Phil right here. His Eastlands Woodworking Company, man. Hit my boy up that if you need any woodworking done, I mean, any celebration that you have, birthdays, weddings, bar mitzvahs, or parties, anything that you need done, customized, he will hook you up. Let me give you an example. This is a coaster, and it's got my name, as you can see, with my letter, and it's got the team that I love. And it's on a coaster. He can do it in an ashtray. He can do it as a plaque on the wall. Hit that QR code. Tell him we sent you.
There you go, man. Some more of his work right there, man. Shout out to our boy over there at Eastlands, man. Y'all see the QR code up there, man. And I'll try to drop the link in there for everybody. So everybody that's listening on the audio podcast, shout out to our audio listeners, man. You can go on to Etsy's Etsy is where he's at as well, man. Eastland's Woodworking Company, man. You can hit him up over there, man. And like I said, if you don't see anything over there to your liking, hit him up. He'll definitely be able to work with you, man. Also, got to definitely shout out, man, my boy Bachi over there, man, with BEZ moisturizing conditioning spray. Somebody told me the other day, Banks, man, he was like, man, y'all like old school Soul Train, how they used to have Stay Soft Fro on there. Absolutely, man. This is what this is, man. Shout out to 2025 and, everybody that's got their beards and their natural hair rocking it right, man. You got to get it right, man. So shout out to our boy over there, Bachi, doing it big, man. If you're trying to get some of that product, man, hit them up at 470-222-9927, 470-222-9927. I try to keep one on me. So if you catch me out here in these ATL streets somewhere, man, you say, hey, man, I want to try that product out. I keep one on me, man. So, I'll be able to hook you up, man. First come, first serve, obviously, with that BEZ. Man, listen, Banks, let's go ahead. You already know, man, on this 404 day, man, let's do this fit check, drink check, man. You already know.
Really simple for me, Leo. I'm doing the ATL Hawks. As you can see right here, we got Atlanta on my chest. I will always love this Atlanta Hawks logo, the Pac-Man logo. I would always love it. I don't like any other Hawks logo but this one. But I will always say that, old to me would never ever like go out of style. When you change it up, change the colors. They changed it with the "Give Me a Hug" Hawk, and they tried to change the
You know
colors to
you like
red
that.
and blue.
You like that hug me
Listen
hawk, man.
here,
You
let
like
me
that
tell
hug
you
me
something. I
hawk.
don't
Go
like
ahead,
the Hug
man.
Me Hawk. I do not like the
Go
Hug
ahead,
Me Hawk.
man. You like that hug me hawk.
But
You like that hug me hawk.
don't
You like it.
change the
You like
colors.
it.
Leo, really, red and blue, and then in a green and red, whatever they were trying to do. Listen here, keep the colors the way it is, bro. It's red and gold. It's always been red and gold. Back in the Omni, you know what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right
Hold
there.
on, don't
Oh
stop
no,
me
no, no, no,
because
no, no. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna stop you right there. This red and gold that you speak of, no, this is ketchup and mustard. Continue.
excuse me, ketchup and mustard. But the ketchup and mustard, you saw it firsthand with Dominique Wilkins up in the Omni. That's what I remember as a child, going in to see the Hawks play. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand basketball growing up. So when I realized what it was and I saw that every time he dunked, it was a movement in that arena. Shout outs to the Omni. Let me tell you something, man. It was very small, but it was our place. You understand? I'm rambling. So let me move on. I'm drinking on some Crown Apple. Nothing spectacular about it, But Leo, I'm going to give it back to you. Let everybody know what you're wearing.
You living in your ATL glory days, 404
Listen
days.
here,
You
ain't
living
nothing
in it, man.
wrong with that. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, the Omni was our place, Leo. It
Omni
was
was very
our place.
nostalgic, man. Omni was a very nostalgic place. Obviously, like you said, you've been around as long as we have. Because, like I said, we got two generations behind us now that have no idea about no Omni, about no Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, none of that. Not even the Georgia Dome. But I digress. Yeah, let me tell you what I got on, man. I'm doing something light work, man. I just got on. You see, I got on my Braves hat. We're gonna talk about them here in just a minute, man. I love collecting hats. I am a hat collector. This is one of those limited edition ATL hats. Y'all see the pin on it. Y'all see it's like the big league chew. I know some of y'all old heads remember big league chew. I think they still sell it at the gas station, the bubble gum, but this is like a limited edition ATL Atlanta Braves hat, man, for sure. And what I'm drinking on tonight, man, it's something like work, man. Banks, you know how I do with the bourbon, man. I gotta do this. I gotta put it up here. I don't even know the damn bottle, but it's the Angel Envy Triple Oak, man. Shout out to Angel Envy. They put out a product. Angel Envy, I really wasn't feeling when I first got into the bourbon game, Banks, but man, they put out this Triple Oak product, man. I don't know how old the juice is. I don't know how old the whiskey is, but they did a Triple Oak thing where they finished it in several different whiskey barrels to, enhance the flavor or whatever. But it's a pretty decent drink. So that's what I'm on tonight, man. Doing it real big. And I got my ATL, my glass here. It's the ATL, it's the Hawks, the basketball glass, man. I like to bring out these little glasses here sometimes, man, every once in a while, man. It's not doesn't have the Pac-Man Hawk on there, but it's my ATL Hawks, uh, glass that I'm drinking out of tonight, man. So shout out to the ATL, man, and all our for nostalgia. And before we get too far in, man, um, definitely, I know y'all been like, where the hell is Derrico? What's going on? Where is Derrico? He is. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this here, man, because a couple people done came at me and was like, man, what's going on with Derrico, man? Listen, this is a busy man. You know what I'm saying? This is a busy man. He got a lot of stuff going on. Shout out to him, man. He's been moving and shaking. I'm pretty sure when he gets back and joins us, he's gonna have a lot of stories about his travels afar and all the things he's been doing. He's gonna have to bring us He's gonna have to bring us up to speed. Banks is all the things that he's had going on in these last several weeks that he's been absent for the show. But yeah, man, shout out to our boy Derek Cole. He definitely will be back. And we definitely have some more surprises in store as we continue to do this podcast and moving forward here, man. So I got a couple of things we're gonna talk about tonight on this 404 as we drop this tomorrow, man. But just definitely want to shout out our boy Derek Cole. All right, Banks, here we go. Let me not ramble too much. Let's get into a little bit of Falcons talk here before we jump into the Atlanta Braves, because that's the Atlanta Braves is the talk of the town, and we'll get into that. But I want to talk a little bit of Falcons before we jump into the Braves. A couple of things that came up today that I wanted to bring to your attention, and a couple of things that we talked about earlier in the week. First thing is, man, I saw something interesting that came across. I couldn't really verify this, man, but if this is going to happen, I feel like this is something that's very, very cool. And I know a lot of people here have mixed feelings and mixed emotions about the person I'm about to talk about. I'm about to talk about number two. Obviously, the only number two that you in Atlanta that's probably the biggest number two, and that's Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan came back out. He was in the news here in social media today as I was going through my feed, and it looks like, Banks, that Matt Ryan is supposedly going to work with our new starting quarterback, Michael Penix, during the offseason, man. I saw that and I kind of teared up because, of course, Banks, obviously Matt Ryan holds a special place in my heart as a fan of Atlanta sports, man. Like, he is, in my opinion, a lot of people don't want to say this, but he's on the Mount Rushmore, in my opinion, of Atlanta sports. I know that's debated, and I know a lot of people are probably going to jump on me in the comments or going to jump on me and say, Leo, you crazy. But, man, listen, Matt Ryan is he's big time here in Atlanta. I don't want to go back into his tenure here and what happened, but listen, man, this dude was probably the most prolific quarterback that the Falcons have ever seen. And like I said, he's probably one of the most prolific players the Falcons has ever seen. I know it's been some debates about, is he the best player that's ever suited up for the Falcons, whatever the case may be. And I've had my opinions on that. But Banks, I'm going to pass it over here to you, man. Got some news on the feed that Matt Ryan is going to possibly work with the young buck, man, Michael Penix, the future of our franchise, man. I don't know if you saw that, man, but how do you feel about that, man? If this is true, if Matt Ryan is going to actually work with Michael Penix?
Listen, I saw it this morning, and I'm kind of like you. You kind of stole my thunder. It was a very moving moment that I felt like, yes, that's the torch that we want to see passed. You know what I'm saying? Um, yes, Matt Ryan is the best quarterback the Falcons ever had in franchise history. Yes, I said it. I'm not going to rip. I apologize for it. It ain't number seven. It ain't Steve Barkowski. It's none of them. It's Matt Ryan. You got a lot of haters out there, especially that's been on social media talking about this is a bad idea. Listen, you have a right to feel how you feel. You know what I'm saying? You can't take a fact the matter of the fact that what he has done for this team. He's the only quarterback that we have witnessed a back-to-back winning season. Listen here, you may not think that's a big deal, and it may not be. It might be kind of mediocrity to say that, you know what I'm saying, that you are celebrating that, but I'm not celebrating it. But the fact that no other quarterback in our franchise history has even let us experience that, then yeah, Matt Ryan needs to hold that. He needs to hold that. I mean, look, listen here. I'm not. I know he has. He has a lot of stuff on his watch that happened to him, and it's very unforgivable. But at the same time, so is the other quarterbacks we all had on in our history. I can go down a list and tell you every single thing negative that every quarterback we on had. Every last one of them. So take it with a grain of salt, people. I mean, if you don't like it, tough. You know what I'm
Hey man,
saying?
hey, listen, let me tell you something, man. Matt Ryan, you know, put like this here, man. A game away from building a statue. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, man, they still can build a statue as far as I'm concerned. This man could go anywhere in this city and move anywhere in this city as far as I'm concerned. And everybody, will love him. I mean, yeah, there's always gonna be that controversy, and there's always gonna be that aspect of people talking about him and making comparisons, man. But listen, Matt Ryan laid everything out on the table when he was here for his tenure, people. So like it or not, man, Matt Ryan did everything he could, man. Prolifically, probably one of the, when it's all said and done, man, until somebody else surpasses what he's done. Like he's not just with the Falcons, Atlanta sports period in general. And listen, I don't care what you say from a standpoint of, like you said, Banks, whether it's hate or not. People talk about, oh, why Matt Ryan dealing with Penix, all that. Listen, let me tell you something. There's no person more perfect to give wisdom to Penix about, number one, this city, about this fan base, about the culture here, and about what he needs moving forward as being the future of this franchise. Because he made no mistakes and qualms about it. He is the future of this franchise, and nobody knows that this franchise and this city and this fan base better than, in my opinion, Matt Ryan. So I am all on board and full on board if this is going to happen with Matt Ryan working with the young buck, man, and let him know, hey, man, this is what you need to do. This is what's expected of you. And because, man, I've had the opportunity to shake hands with the man myself, and I understand, man, like just looking him in his eye, and as the first thing I told Matt Ryan, the first when I met him, I only met him once, but when I said, hey, Matt, man, you got to understand, anytime y'all play them cats down there in that boot, y'all got to win. And Matt looked me back in my eye and was like, absolutely. That's what he said. All he said was absolutely as he looked me in my face. He knew, he already knew. So, you know what I'm saying? If he can, that right there in itself, man, I was like, you know what, Matt, he already know what time it is, man. And I felt it. So if he can pass that on and put that and inject that into Penix veins, man, I'm all for it. I don't even care what they talk about out there on the field. I just want him to understand the culture, understand the city, and understand his fan base and what we want out of the players to suit up for this team.
What better person that knows his fan base first and foremost, for good or for bad? It's Matt Ryan. He knows this fan base like the back of his hand. Okay, he came into it. Unfortunately, he had to be baptized in it after the Michael Vick saga, and then he had to endure the people who was
Comparisons,
still
yeah, the
comparison.
comparisons.
He had to go through all that and still play his game. And like I said, people don't realize that he heard all that chirps and chatter about him compared to Michael Vick. Listen, it was big shoes to fill. I'm not going to even hold you. It was big shoes to fill. But at the same time, when he came in, he threw a touchdown his very first pass he
Very
threw
first
in the
play.
NFL. The very first pass he threw in the NFL was a touchdown. And listen, hate
He
him or
put
like
this
him,
listen, he put
hate him
this
or
city
like
on
him,
his back, man. He put this
hate
city
him.
on his back.
Listen, hate him
He
or
put
like
this city
him.
on his back.
He
The
was
most
the best
iconic
quarterback,
player
the best
ever.
quarterback in franchise history.
I mean,
And it's not even close. It's not
in the
even close.
city. Dude, and for him to run out there on that field, man, after we beat Carolina, I can't remember the year, and yell, get the F off our field, man. Dude, this dude put the city on his back, man, embodied the city. A lot of people gonna probably, whatever, hit us with the comments, whatever the case may be, agree, disagree, whatever. Man, Matt Ryan is it, man. And whatever wisdom that you got to impart on Michael Penix, I'm all for it, man, moving forward. Michael Penix I'm already with the young buck, man. He did a little interview here not too long ago saying he wanted to win 5 Super Bowls. Mike, I hope you want to win them right here in this city. You know what I'm saying? I hope you want to win all 5 of them right here in this city, man. And if that's how you feel, man, that's how you feel, brother. I'm hoping we go ahead and do that thing, man. But yeah, I just wanted to drop that little news out there that I saw.
First and foremost, you got to develop a hate for that damn team down there in that boot. That's first and
Absolutely,
foremost.
absolutely.
We got to
Hate,
teach you that. You got to
hate,
hate
hate,
that
hate the
team.
black and gold. You know what I'm saying?
Hate
Hate
that team.
that
So once
that
you
black and
realize
gold.
that what that's
Hate
all
that.
about, then we
Yeah.
can go
We
forward.
move
But
forward. Yeah.
until then, you know what I'm saying? I hear
They
you.
are
I
enemy
hear
number
you.
one. They are enemy number
But
one
you beat their ass.
every year.
You beat
Sweep
their
them.
ass.
As long as you're a
Okay.
Falcon, sweep them. Full sweep. Damn it. All right. We don't win, we don't win in on that. All right, so let's move forward here, man. Let's talk about what we here to talk about, man. We here in the spring, man. It is what it is, man. April is upon us, man. We into baseball season, and let's go ahead and talk about these boys. We talked a little bit about them on the last podcast. We'll get into it here for just a minute as time is moving on here, Banks. And we talking about the Braves, obviously, and they have started the season out there on the West Coast turn, and it did not go very, very well for our Braves. And one of the things I said in the last podcast is the Braves are one of the teams that we don't have to worry about here in this city. But after these several games, I think 7 games, if I'm not mistaken, 7, 8 games out there on the West Coast, man, between the Padres series and the Dodgers series, man, the Braves are now winless out there playing. Obviously, and then I'm not taking for what it's worth. It's early in the season, but obviously the Padres and the Dodgers are probably going to be at the end of the season two of the better teams in the NL. And you just could not find a way to win a game against either of those teams. And there's been a lot of chaos and a lot of drama surrounding that as the Braves now come back to Atlanta. Home opener is upon us tonight for 4 days. They take on the Marlins. Banks, I said myself, we don't have to worry about the Braves, but is it this is early, but are we in panic mode? Are we really in panic mode with the Braves?
You said that San Diego and LA is gonna be one of the better teams at the end of the season. So is the Braves. Like the Braves supposed to have been a better team. You know what I'm saying? So we was not going to be like second tier to them. I mean, we were supposed to be on par with them. You come out the gates and you went 0-7 and you can't find any offense to save your life. Listen here. Yes, it's early, but it's like, yeah, you need to panic too. Like it's kind of both. I'm not saying panic because the season is done, but I think what we need to look back on is this off season when Double A sat there and said that we were good, what we had trotted out there, and we didn't even go after any pitchers or anybody of significant to make this team better. And what you did was you brought in this dude from San Diego, ironically, who for me wasn't really relevant until last year. But I digress about that story once you go to it. But that was our big signing. Like come on, man. Like you knew in the National League, you had teams that was getting better and they were spending money. And Braves sat back twirling their thumbs and thinking that it's gonna be all good. Listen, this ain't 2021. Okay. Yes, we won despite of, but you got to get better eventually. You got to do something. You can't just sit there on your hands thinking that our name alone is gonna carry us. Yeah, we just the Braves, but at the same time, dude, you playing the likes of the Dodgers, you playing the likes of the Phillies that's in your own division that pretty much been putting a beating on you lately. You got to stay on par with them. And lately you have been sitting there and you want to paint this picture to the fan base that we are fine, that we don't have to go and have this big payroll and beat these teams. Yes, you do. Yes, you
I
do.
mean, early, yes. Obviously, I mean, are we in clearly Banks? Are we in panic mode? In my opinion, no. I don't think we're in panic mode. I mean, like I said, I mean, shout out to our boy Derek Cole for talking about where we are with Schnitt, and is it time for him? I mean, I don't know, man. Time will tell. Baseball is a marathon and not a sprint. Obviously, there's a lot of games to go. And yes, when it comes to spending money, we already know as Braves fans, Banks, we already know, man, with Liberty Media, man, and where the pockets are and what Alex Anthopoulos has worked magic. He really has. He really has. Like you said, man, we were able to acquire and bring in players and sign contracts and keep core guys here that we didn't think but he was able to pull it out of his behind. But like you said, Banks, at some point you're gonna have to say, hey, you know what, man, we're gonna have to go over budget and we're gonna have to go big. When you look at teams like the Dodgers, you know what I'm saying, and they $1 billion payroll out there with Mookie and Shohei Ohtani and Freddie and everybody that they got out there, and all these other teams that are overspending for these players. It's like, okay, eventually we're gonna have to balance this thing out, and we got to bring some people here to the Braves in order to compete with the likes of these teams that are going above and beyond when it comes to the payroll. But listen, man, I still do think this is an early, like, panic mode for us. Like I said, we got the Marlins here tonight, and then we still got a couple of our key players that are still injured. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Acuna, he probably won't be back until like May, and he'll be a big, part of the lineup offensively and also defensively as well. So the pitching, yes, the bullpen is a liability. I don't know who some of these guys are on the even starting pitchers. I know Strider will be back as well, Spencer Strider. Shout out him. I think he'll probably come back sometime in May or whenever that gets ready. But, remember, he had a major surgery, Tommy John he's coming off of. But I think he'll be back, and I think he'll be ready to go. This is not what we're used to when we look at the Braves as far as like the standard that has been put upon them. Obviously, but them being 0 I think it is 0-7 right now. Hopefully tonight they can get into the win column against the Marlins. I think if I'm not mistaken, Banks, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Schwellenbach is pitching tonight, if I'm not mistaken, against the Marlins here in just a couple of minutes up there at Truist. Opening day is always, the Braves always pride themselves in going out and showing out on opening day. So I'm hoping this is just a early, get it out your system, man. Get this out your system and let's move forward and let's see where this takes us and not panic too hard, man. But that West Coast showing did not look well. But I think we'll be okay. Like I'm with you, Banks. And in this side, man, I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid and say, you know what, man, we're gonna be okay. This is a long season. Let's see where we are. Let's see what we can do. If we need to put some stuff together, you know what I'm saying, going into the deadline, if Anthopoulos can put some stuff together, make some moves happen, and we get like we like to talk about continuity with the bats. We'll see where this goes. But it's real early. It's real early. We 7 games into 199 games.
Well, like I said, you can't keep building this hole. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out here against the Marlins and drop them too. You know what I'm saying? You have to, at some point, you got to get back in the race. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's very early. It's April. It's April. It's beginning of April. It's not even mid-April. And you can't afford to get behind the teams like the Phillies, who's basically your nemesis that you're chasing. You're already 5 games back. You know what I'm saying? I know it's too early to look at standings and everything, but you don't want to look in June and all of a sudden you're 13 games back. And it's almost like you got a longer road to try to get back in it. Listen, start today.
Do it
Start
tonight.
today
Handle your
and
business against the Marlins.
get back into what we are. And then saying, like I said, we're gonna see the Dodgers again. We're gonna see the Padres again.
again.
We're gonna see them both again. Don't worry about that. All is right in the world if you go back and you put a butt whipping on them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That was pure emotion, by the way.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good, man.
But listen. I want to say is that I am disappointed. On because of what we didn't do in the off season. But at the same time, in the same breath, I am saying it is very early, and it
Yeah.
is time to turn it around. We are the Braves, okay? I'm not saying that we this big juggernaut. We are this, but I've known the Braves to be down and almost buried and come out and win a, a championship.
Absolutely. We've seen other teams, have 12, 15, 16 game leads in the division, independent race, man, and get walked down. So, like I said, man, the Braves are that team we don't really worry about here in this city, man. And we could go on and talk about the Braves and how we've watched this team in our tenure over our the course of our fanship, go from worst to first, and just the 90s as we grew up, as we were kids, just watch them dominate. But like I said, nothing really to worry about in my opinion. We'll talk a little bit later as the season progresses about how we feel about Snick and what we can do if he's gonna actually turn this thing. He's gonna turn this thing around, but we'll talk about whether or not moving forward if he's going to be the skipper with them for the next couple of years. But look, Banks, we pushing the mark. Got a couple other things we need to talk about before we get this before we close this thing out. Listen, so let's talk about the Hawks for a little bit, man. Let's talk about them and what they are and where they are right now. So it's safe to say that the Atlanta Hawks have made their way into obviously the play-in playoff tournament, however that works over there with the NBA. They are in that mode right now. I want to say they're somewhere seventh, eighth, somewhere like that. I know Banks should be able to fill me in and let me know where they are exactly, man, because I didn't really do my homework. But listen, Banks, the Hawks, here we are. I think this is the epitome of what we know as a team here in this city. And no, this is the team that we really don't ever have any expectations. We've talked about the Falcons and how they rip our heart out our chest every year. But I think as Hawks fans here in this city, man, we watch them literally. This is the team we watch with no expectations whatsoever. I mean, obviously, go back to, early 2000 teens, like 2017 or whatever that year was. I can't remember exactly when we, dominated a first seed in the Eastern Conference, and then we end up getting kicked out by Cleveland, and then you go back all the way, like you said, to those Dominique years when we would make it so far to the Eastern Conference and get put out by the Celtics. But this is a team that has fight. But we're just trying to see them turn over and trying to get it to where we can, say, hey, we are that team that's going to compete for a championship year in and year out. And we know that the NBA is a little different. But Banks, here we are. We want to always go to the dance. We are in the dance, but there's a lot of inconsistency and there's just no identity. Banks, tell me, what can I look forward to moving forward here as we make it and go into the playoff tournament and actually move into the playoffs with this team?
Well, let's get this straight. It's not the playoffs; it's a play-in. Okay, I'm tired of people saying the play-ins is the playoffs. We ain't made the playoffs yet. We're trying to get in the playoffs. Um, we're currently at eighth position. If the play-in starts today, we will have to go to Orlando and play on Orlando. Um, Not to say the least that we were sitting at the seventh spot, just last week when, we were sitting pretty with 2-game leads over Orlando, but we dropped 2 games to Dallas and Portland. But, I guess that's what the people like the lifers of the Hawks fans would say. That's the NBA, and I disagree. It's who you are. You know what I'm saying? You are very inconsistent. You are very a team of hit and miss. You will be good one day, you will beat the brakes off of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then you'll turn around and you'll lose to the Washington Wizards. So I don't want to hear that it happens, because it don't happen, because good teams don't lose to lesser teams constantly. This isn't a something that's just that's what a pattern. It's a pattern.
They're
It's a pattern for Atlanta. Yeah.
consistently
Yes,
inconsistent.
it's a pattern for Atlanta. It exactly. But let me tell you something. A team like Golden State, a team like Boston, a team like insert team here that's has known to be, a decent team over the years would not do this constantly without heads rolling. Okay. We're only team that sit there and accept this mess. But I would digress. I'm not here to bash them. All I wants to know is that we're the eighth seed going into the Orlando Magic. If the playoffs were to start today, play in starts today. I, for one, I felt like this is not the year to have any expectation on going any deep playoff run. Okay, I think we all know that. I think anybody with a sensible brain would know that this Hawks team is not built to go deep in the playoffs this year. But I will say this. I think this is the year that we can actually see what we have, with the Zachary Ricochet and, the
Dyson
Dyson
Daniels.
Daniels. Listen, I feel like these guys that we have now, we might have something here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can go forward going into next year and try to build something. I don't look at this season, this play-in tournament, this playoff, whatever we're gonna match up with. If we make it, I don't care because I don't think it'll probably be one and done and 4 game sweep, whatever you want to call it. Fine. Let's figure out what we have, and I think we may have something. We have what's the guy's name? Levert, Karis Levert.
Right.
Um, let's see
And
what we got. Let's try to get this guy back with us. Let's try to
and let's
sign
not
him back.
and let's not forget, remember, we, still with one of the most promising players that, we had here, Jalen. He's out, injured. So, you know what I'm saying? He'll be back coming, like you said, but I'm glad you phrased it and framed it like you did. Let's see where we are. Let's see what these young guys are going to give us. For all intents and purposes, man, Trey is going to be here. This guy's going to be here. We've established that. I don't know, maybe sometime later on Trey will get moved, but I think it's safe to say Trey will be here for another couple of years or another several years. With this Cordo, Onyeka is still young. You got a young Dyson Daniels on the wing. You got, like you said, Levert. You got Johnson that'll end up coming back, man. This is, like you said, Banks, the framing of what we will be here in the next couple of seasons. And there's no shame in making the dance, play in, whatever the case may be. Risha Shea, I watched him the other night, man. There was a highlight of him the other night, and I think I saw on social media where they said, like one dribble or no dribble where he played, and it was like he was getting fed the ball down low. He was doing this thing, man, turning and doing this thing. Man, I know I don't want people to eat me up because this is no comparison, but when I saw him, it looked a little bit like, I said, man, am I looking a little bit of like, Hakeem Olajuwon? Now, I'm not saying that that's where he is talent-wise, but some of the stuff he was doing that night when I saw the highlights, man, I was like, you know what? This is promising. If he builds on that, man, yes, like you said, Banks, with the nucleus of what we have, man, let's go out and let's fight. By no way, form, or fashion is this team built to, if they get a little bit of luck, hit lightning in the bottle, man, they might be able to make a little run. But hey, listen, we in the playoff, play in, playoff, whatever the hell that means. I'm not gonna sneeze about that based upon everything that's happened. So yes, Banks, I like the way you said that and framed that up. This is going to be the telltale of what we have moving forward, man. I really like that.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of expectations out there of saying, we got to get ready for this play-in games. We can get in the playoffs. Listen, I'm not excited to play Cleveland right now. I'm not excited to play Boston right now. Okay, because they're gonna make a mockery of us and they're gonna run us out the damn gym. Listen, I feel like we have a core here. If we have a core here, let's start figuring it out what their roles are. Jaden Daniels coming back. You know what I'm saying? We got Dyson Daniels. Hopefully he'll come back. We got Karis Levert. Hopefully he'll come back. We got Zachary Ricochet. I mean, I'm saying we got Trey Young, of course. Listen, we got pieces. They're not known pieces, but I feel like they can be known pieces. You know what I'm saying? If we can just get on a little run, you know what I'm saying, during a season. Listen, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, you know what I'm saying, about this team. I just know what they are. For me, to what they are currently, they are a team that they're a warm up for the next team or the next round. That's what we are.
Hey,
So
but like we say, Banks, man, the accomplishment of getting into let's not shortchange that. I get it. The long term big fish is to bring a trophy to this city, but you have to start somewhere and to fight with all of the negative marks against this team and all the adversity they've seen and all these young players that we've had to play where they are right now. Let's be real. I'm satisfied with it, and like I said, it sounds like you're satisfied with it as well.
Listen, they've been a playing team last year and the year before last. I've seen this dance already. I'm not impressed. Okay, yeah, you're a playing team. That's what you are. I want to see progression. I want to see you be a six seed. I want you to play the third seed for a change instead of playing the first seed all the time. Or you're a fifth seed, got to play the fourth seed all the time. Won't you be a third seed or a sixth seed? I mean, something different for a Hawks for once. You know what I'm saying? It's always either you're middle of the pack or you caught light in the bottle. You won every game in January and you won 60 games. It's nothing in between. We never had consistency where we could just be a 55 win team constantly year in and year out, where we can be between 2 and 3, and cause and be a force in this conference, which is not tough, by the way. It's not a tough conference. Okay, we're not in the West where we got to play the likes of Denver and Memphis and the Clippers and the
Houston
Lakers
and
and
Houston.
Houston. Listen, we playing the likes of Boston and Milwaukee. I ain't even say Milwaukee.
We're in
You
Milwaukee,
playing the likes of Boston and Cleveland and Indiana.
Charlotte.
No, not even Charlotte. So my thing is, you playing the likes of those three teams, and you are falling behind. Like you can't even keep up with them, and it feel like you got a long way to go. I don't think you do. I don't think you have a long way to go. I think you have pieces there. You just got to figure out how to win constantly. Okay.
Consistently, man.
I've seen you beat Cleveland twice. I've seen you beat Boston twice. It's not like that was a fluke. You feel like you basically you match well with them.
Yeah.
But it's like the problem I have is when you play the likes of Washington or the likes of Portland or any other lesser team that you want to insert name here, and you lose to them and you lose bad to them. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand where's the logic of getting up for teams and then you don't play to your competition. Like, listen, a team like Washington is a guaranteed lottery team. Okay, a guaranteed lottery team,
You should
guaranteed,
bust them up, no doubt. You should be
and it
busting them
shouldn't
up.
even be an issue. You should be you're better than them, and they will sit there and run you out the building. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I do not get it. And you turn
Man,
around and you play Boston and you beat them by 10. How? How do you do that?
listen, man. Like I said, consistently inconsistent. Like I said, hopefully we'll get some some good consistency here once we get this team, this young core gel together. But like I said, I'm not going to overlook the fact that right now they got to do what they got to do in the play in and try to move in and see if they can make some noise. But hey, the Hawks are the Hawks. We gonna love them, and we gonna see how this thing plays out. Listen, Banks, we coming up at the mark, man. I want to give a quick shout out to Atlanta United. We won't go too far off into the weeds with them as they take on this weekend. Dallas, I think it's Dallas that they're playing this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Down there at Mercedes Benz. And then they have another home game the following week against New England. I will be at that game on the 12th against New England. That's an early game, Banks. Maybe you can make it out on the 12th. That's a 2:45 game over there at the Benz. We'll talk about that off air. They had a really big win just happened against NYCFC where they came back down 2-0, ended up winning that thing, man. We talked about this off air, Banks. One of those games where you have to still and win sometimes, man. Even early in the season, late in the season, still a win somehow, some way. And that might be the win that positions them in the playoffs. Some kind of way move forward. Shout out to our boy Rocks up there, man, in New York, man. NYC, big heavy fan up there. I was texting Rocks back and forth during that game, man. He's been on our podcast before. Sorry, I had to take that L, Rocks, but you had to take it. Shout out to the Five Strikes, man, for getting it done over there. Latte, Latif, Miguel, and everybody over there with the Five Strikes. Banks, before we close this thing out, I do want to say one thing that was brought to my attention, man. Listen, as long as I have this small platform that we have, I definitely want to shout out all of our people over there at Footy Mob and Atlanta United. And I definitely want to shout out my man Macaroni Tony that we lost obviously last year. Something special happened at this NYCFC game. Footy Mob was able to create a flag. As you all know, in the supporter section, we have a lot of flags over there. We were able to create a Macaroni Tony flag in remembrance of him. Obviously, we will never let we'll never let him go. You know what I'm saying? That was our brother, obviously beloved by all. His mother came to the game on last week against NYCFC Banks. She was able to participate in a lot of the things that Tony would normally participate. We all know that Tony was a big capo for Atlanta United. And he was just a big Atlanta United fan, big energy, big spirit guy. But his mother was able to participate in a lot of things that Tony used to do. And listen, let me tell you something, man. She was waving that flag when Latte, I might be butchering that right now, but when Atlanta United took the lead in that game, she was waving the Macaroni Tony flag, man. And I know that was probably just very, very special for her as she was waving that flag, man. And Atlanta United was able to take that on to a victory, man. So I definitely got to shout out Footy Mob. Definitely got to shout out our people over there, Atlanta United. They take on Dallas this weekend. And Banks, I'm challenging you to come out next week on the 12th to see them play the New England Revolution, man, and try to keep this thing going, man. Keep you think you want to fall through there for that?
I just might be there, sir.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do it. And then we'll try. So we did try to do like a live type situation from the tailgate, man, on opening day. Maybe we could try to fire that up as well. I don't know if Derek Cole will be with us. I'll try to see what he has going on. But if not, Banks, maybe we can try to fire that up from the tailgate as well and maybe do a live podcast, man. But shout out to Atlanta United and everything going on over there. But look, Banks, man, dude, we could talk and keep going on and on and on about a lot of stuff going on, man. But we are currently at the mark. Definitely want to get a floor over to you, man, because look, we are 2 weeks. We are minus 2 weeks out for your big celebration. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna give you the floor. Let's do it, man. Before we close this thing out, let everybody know what's going down.
Well, what Leo is talking about 2 weeks from now, man, we're having a big blowout for my 45th trip around the sun.
Oh, he said it. He said it.
I said it. I said it. I said it. I said I was not ashamed of my age, and I'm letting you know that I am the big 4-5 coming up in a couple of weeks, and we're celebrating it big style. And I'm going to have a big theme, kind of all white theme kind of thing. But you know, that's my thing. Like when I want to be fresh, I want to be crispy. So I'm going to be extra crispy. So for everybody that wants to come through, you want to hit me on my DMs. You are very welcome to come through, and I will put the address to you and hope that you will show. Leo, yes, we are going to do it in a couple of weeks, and we are already in the month. I planned this back in September of last year, and here we are
no,
2 weeks away.
No, you
Yes,
didn't.
I did.
Oh,
yes,
wait,
I did.
Let me stop. Time out. So people let me explain something to you, man. He fell through last year when I had a function at my crib last year. This was in July. You were talking about this in July of last. So you say you started planning in September, but you was already talking about this back in July when you came through the crib when I had, my little birthday kickback. So this has been like on your radar probably since birthday of last year. So you've been getting the wheels turning, man, and you've been building this up, man. You've been talking about it, man. So this thing is going to be epic, man. And
I'm gonna actually be really honest with you, Dan. If that's the case, then I really thought about it back about 4 years ago because I was gonna have a 40th birthday party, but unfortunately, we were going through COVID, so I had to cancel everything because of COVID. So now here it is, my next big milestone, which is probably be my last celebration that I'm gonna do for myself because this is a lot of work that I have to do and I have to plan and get everything together. And finally, it's here. 2 weeks to go, and I am going to turn up on the turn up. You hear me?
It's gonna be another one, ladies and gentlemen. When he crosses his other milestone birthday, he says that now, but with the next milestone birthday after this one,
I won't be here.
He's gonna fire up.
I won't be
Okay,
here.
well,
I
we'll
will
we'll
be
talk
out of
about that off air.
town.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that off air. We'll talk about that off air. We'll talk about that off air. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, man, this has been another edition of the ATL Three Style Podcast. Before we go, Banks, if they do want to come out to the All White Affair, let them know where they can catch you at real quick before we close this thing on out.
You can hit me up on Antoine Jarrell Banks on Facebook to hit me on my DMs if you want to talk about the show, or if you just want to actually be invited to the All White Affair. Or you can hit me on Baby Banks 80 on Instagram and let me know again about the show, because people has hit me up about they've seen the show. Everybody that's seen the show, I appreciate you. But hit that subscribe button when you do. So I thank you, and Leo thanks you well, and Derico thanks you as well. Listen here, we appreciate every last one of you
We damn
that
sure
that
do, man.
that that
Everybody that
met that
support,
mess with us. And we've been
we
doing this
rock
for
with
about
y'all, man.
five years now. Listen here, we're going on strong. No, 6 years, excuse me. We've been doing this since 2019, and here we are, and we're 6 years in, and we appreciate you.
We're gonna
Thank
keep on doing it, man.
every
We're gonna keep
last
on
one of
doing it.
you.
Absolutely. We're gonna keep on doing it, man. Y'all, like I said, y'all can catch us on all social media platforms. Obviously, it's ATL 3 Style, ATL, the number 3 Style, Instagram, X, whatever you call it these days, and also over there on Facebook, man. For thank y'all for catching us on the live over there and also on YouTube as well, man. Definitely we're gonna try to keep this thing rolling, man, and keep putting out this content, man, and because we definitely know that there's a lane for it, and we love doing it, man, and we love the interaction with you guys, man. Listen, I'm looking forward to this thing here going down in 2 weeks, man. I already told Banks, man, don't let nobody outshine you at your, because I'm coming to try to hurt you. I'm coming to try to outshine you at your own shindig. Yes, I am. So you better be prepared, because I'm coming to do it big. And listen, if you come through, man, holla at your boy, man. We're gonna do something big. We're gonna do it big for your boy Banks, man, because that's what we do. But Derico gonna come through there, man. It's gonna be a good time, man.
Let me tell
Definitely.
you something. If I didn't mean to cut you off, anybody that knows me out there that's gonna outshine me on my day, you best be crazy.
I'm
Anybody,
trying to do it. I'm trying
anybody
to do
that
it. I'm
knows
trying to do it.
me know
I'm
that
trying to
I'm
do it.
gonna come with it and then some. Leo, you're
I'm
gonna be
trying to do
wasting
it.
your time, sir.
Okay. I'm
Because
trying to
I
do it.
already got it hanging up. I got it hanging up in my room as we speak, like it's the first day of
Hey,
school. Let me tell you
I'm trying
something.
to do it.
You better you okay.
I'm trying to do it. Listen,
I
listen.
will I will run circles around you, sir.
This is friendly competition. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. When you know you already know, but when I come correct, man. I just want to let you know to make sure that you come correct, man. It's gonna be your day. Obviously, I'm not gonna. Obviously, this is just I'm just talking, man. But it's friendly competition, man. I'm gonna come correct. You said all white. You said do it big, and goddamn it, I'm gonna do it big. Excuse me, I'm gonna do it big. I'm gonna do it big for it, man. But listen, man, this has been another edition of the ATL 3 Style Podcast, man. Shout out to what I'm saying, BEZ. Also, shout out to Eastland's Woodworking, man. We'll definitely come back, man. Hope we'll try to wrestle Derico up, man, and get him back out here. Obviously, he will join us again here for another podcast momentarily, but had to definitely come out and bringing it to y'all, man. This has been another edition of the ATL 3 Style Podcast, man. We love y'all and we out.